Howdy folks, and welcome back to No Guarantees. Today I'm going to be budget restoring the exterior and interior of my 91 YJ, all for less than $200. If you haven't been following along with this project, I bought this thing as a non-running rusty beater for $1,800 a couple of months ago, and I've got it running and driving again, repaired the rust issues, and prettied up the engine bay. That just leaves the exterior and interior. This thing really looks a lot better on camera than it does in person. Starting up front, it's not in bad shape up here, everything's just a little bit rough. You can see that end cap is fine, that one's broken off. It's got these ugly LED lights both down there and up there. The hood hinges are a little bit rusty, but the bumper itself is perfectly fine. Most of this is nothing some paint won't take care of. Coming around to the side of the car, it's much of the same story. You can tell the fender flares have been cracked here, and a bunch of other places throughout the run of them, and that's nothing that some paint can't take care of. This is one of the only rust spots on the entire car, and it's really not that bad. You guys know that I can and have repainted these, and this one honestly just doesn't need it. Speaking of repaint, if I come back to the back of this step, you can tell it's been repainted not once, but twice. There's that original beautiful Islander blue, then it was painted orange, and they did, apparently, a much better job, and then it was painted the red color that we see just about everywhere. Coming around to the rear, I already redid the bumper in the frame repair video, but things like the taillight protectors, the tailgate stop, I'll repaint those while I'm in here, and the top also needs to be repainted black. You can tell it was originally this gray color that went with the blue, and somebody painted it black. Around to the other side, pretty much the same story, except no hole in the fender. You can still see chipping, cracking, all that kind of stuff in the fender flares. And then here is the only other rust spot that I'm, again, not taking care of. All in all, the outside of this thing really isn't bad. It just needs some help and a bath to get it across the finish line. The camera doesn't really pick it up too well, but you guys can probably see all the mold and mildew and whatever else has accumulated on all the paint. It shows a little bit better on the glass. That's pretty much just covering the entire Jeep. Around to the interior, it's much of the same story. It's not good, but it's definitely not bad. You can see the driver's seat is starting to tear all through here. I'll probably just sew that up. The paint is wearing off a lot of the floors and they're covered in sand. This door only works from the outside. Gee, I wonder why. And there's a couple cracks in the dash, but nothing I can't fix or ignore. However, this glove box definitely has to go. I don't have the key, and evidently, neither did the last guy. And around back, we've got a lot more sand, and thankfully, the missing door panel. I figure this is as good a place of any to get this thing started. If you guys follow Jeep part prices the way that I do, you'll know that these steps are like $300 if you want to buy one. Thankfully, coming over to my 94, these end caps are like 20 bucks on Amazon. So I picked up this plastic welder on Amazon and I figured I'd give it a try. Here's what it originally looked like. Here's the section cut out. Here it is when I was in the middle of putting it together. You can see all the metal staples sticking out of it like a porcupine. I'm in the middle of cleaning this up right now, so don't judge me too much. But I wanted to share with you guys, you can see that this one points up right here. This is the one that's originally off the 91 and originally part of the step. You can see how it points upwards in this angle. This is an original one down here on my 94, and you can see how it points downwards like that. The reason it turns up like this is to make room for your rear flare. And obviously, when you just have this little nub, that's not something you need to worry about. However, when I'm combining the two pieces, as you can see over there, I had to take measures to make sure I put this in. Well, here's the final product on the back of the step, and it's okay. That's my expert analysis on that one. I was hoping for it to be a little bit better, but for the time I put into it and the tools that I've got, it turned out pretty good. You can see there's a divot right here and a divot right there in the back. That's just because I'm not confident enough yet with the plastic welder to know whether or not it would burn the paint if I got that close to the tub for an extended amount of time. So I welded them. The two ends are melted together. It just doesn't look pretty. I didn't add enough filler. As far as the two seams we had in the back, remember there was one right here halfway and one in the back going all the way down. Those are pretty much invisible. I think that's because it was pretty easy for me to work this piece with it off the Jeep. Taking a look at the seam in the front, you can see how it's pretty rough all through here, here, and right there. So it's definitely noticeable. It doesn't look like a seam, it's not going to crack, but it's a little bit ugly. Now, you could argue this is a 30-year-old Jeep with nothing special about it, so why don't you just leave it alone? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. This thing's not worth me spending multiple hours trying to fix it. If I get to the end of this thing and this is looking like an $8,000 Jeep or a $10,000 Jeep rather than a $6,000 Jeep, then sure, maybe I'll take care of it. While we're looking at the wider view, you can see I've got the rest of the fender flares all cleaned up, sanded, and taped off, as well as the windshield hinges, the hood hinges, the washer fluid squirters, and the windshield wipers. Over to the front bumper, everything's clean and sanded up here as well. The bumper end caps, the lights, and the Z71 thing have got to go. Taking a look at the passenger side, you can see I've already painted up all of the fender flares, and honestly, it looks pretty dang good. The closer you get, it's really not perfect. It's probably about a 5-footer, but again, for a 30-year-old Jeep, it's really not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and paint everything off camera. You guys really don't need to watch me paint. And then that would just leave the top and the wheels and tires for the outside of this thing to be all wrapped up. Exterior is all wrapped up. I'm gonna wait until the end of the video to give you guys the grand reveal. I decided to move into the interior and start off with the dash. I'm gonna give it the same paint job that I did my 94. You can check out that video right up here. I painted up the dash and the column. That all looks pretty good, or at least it should once it's dry. Speaking of dry, it started raining. I was painting all of the other dash pieces out here, but because of the rain, I moved them all inside to dry. I just gotta wrap up on some of these little pieces, and then I've also gotta paint these 2 wheels to match the other 3. Like I said before, it's not bad back here, it's just unfinished. There's the hole for the fuel pump that I'll have to do something about. I already started digging into all the wiring. It's gonna be pretty easy for me to just rip this stuff out, splice the wires back together, and we'll be good to go there. There's some trash and stuff that I've got to throw out, and there's the other door panel for the passenger side door. The back seat's in pretty good shape. I'm just going to pull it out and clean it, and then the 2 side carpet pieces I'm just going to toss. I'm not going to run any carpet in here, so everything definitely needs to be vacuumed and scrubbed. Definitely hold on to this. We got the little plate too, and a half-used box of tissues. Oh, and one of the door rods. That's good too. Oh my goodness, a can of cat food. We even got dinner for tonight. I don't have my mic on because I wasn't planning on finding anything, but you can see that this bracket and this bracket, one of the 2 is backwards. The seat's supposed to be able to slide over and then back out, so the way they have it set up is just dumb. I decided to pull the top off to get it ready for paint because we had a 0% chance of rain for the next 3 days. So much for that. Well, folks, here's the final product. And in my completely biased opinion, this thing looks pretty dang good. Come on over, let me give you guys a walk around. Starting up front, honestly, not much has changed. I just did my best to make everything look a little bit better. The biggest thing to me is throwing these KC lights on there. I like them a heck of a lot better than the LED ones that were on there before. Coming around to the driver's side, you can see that hole in the step looks pretty dang decent from 5-10 feet away. I'm not gonna get any closer. Looking at the wheels, I also went ahead and white lettered the tires. That might not be everyone's style, but it's definitely mine, and it's also period correct. Coming around to the passenger side, you guys can see what the black letters look like. They're not bad, I just find them kind of boring. Let me know in the comments which one you guys think looks better, and chances are I won't get enough comments, so if you're the one guy who replies, I'll probably go with what you say. Around to the rear, nothing really different back here, but you guys can get a feel for what it would look like with those white letter tires. Y'all may have noticed this NGG license plate up here in the front right. That was sent to me by the sponsor of today's video, Jesse at Stone County Dynamics. He sent me a couple license plates, a garage sign, and the big thing, a couple aluminum door panels that I've had in my 94 for a couple months now. I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly how he made these, but they're not just some sticker on a piece of plastic. I mean, they're extremely scratch resistant. Absolutely no problems. I've had his door panels on my 94 for almost 3 months now, and I've got nothing but great things to say. This is not a product that I'm making any money off of. I'm not affiliated with it in any way, other than the fact that Jesse wanted to send me some. He sponsored me in what I would consider to be the right way. He asked if he could send me some products and if I'd give my personal review on it. He didn't even say I had to put it in a video, he just wanted to know what I thought. Over the last couple months, I've gotten to know his products and gotten to know him, and it's something I'm more than willing to put my name behind. All these products are designed, made, and shipped right here in America, which is important to me, and it should be important to you guys too. I could tell from talking to Jesse that he's just a normal Jeep guy who wants to put better products on the market. He's also more than willing to help you design logos if you don't know exactly what you want. He helped me with this one, and I think it turned out fantastic. When he reached out to me about all this stuff, the first thing he had mentioned was those door panels, and I immediately saw a market for them. I can think of countless Jeep guys that want to just get home from a day off-roading in the mud, open up their doors, and hose everything out. Those cardboard door panels that these came with from the factory, like the ones in here, just don't hold up to that kind of abuse. If you guys want to get in contact about any of this stuff, I'll leave his contact and his website down in the description below. Jesse, if you're watching, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for making great products. I'll be getting in touch about another set of door panels soon. Coming around to the inside, it looks pretty dang good in here as well. I know I'm a little bit biased, but sometimes I've got to toot my own horn. Starting with the doors, I've got both door panels securely attached, and I fixed the issue on the inside of the passenger door. It wasn't anything big. That one rod that I showed you guys just had broken clips on either end. I've got a complete hour-long video talking about every single component on the inside of the full doors, so I didn't bother showing it. The dash looks great as well, pretty much identical to the one in my 94. And you'll notice that I swapped over to a regular glove box. This aftermarket one fought me tooth and nail to finally break into it, and once I did, there was absolutely nothing inside. Kind of a letdown. You'll notice the floor mats look awfully familiar to the ones from my 94. I'm just borrowing them until the ones for this one come in. Here's the dash crack that I didn't bother fixing, and I don't think I will. Coming around to the rear, I put on 3 new wiper blades, and if I open it up, I put new lift struts on it as well. The ones that were on there just really weren't cutting it. I also covered up the hole in the floor. This is just a regular boat hatch that I got off of Amazon. And I redid the wiring as well, just to make myself feel better. And finally, I repositioned the rear seat. Now I can hit the lever, fold it forward, and the seat folds right up, just like it should. Now for everybody's favorite part of the video, if you ignore my retention rates. I'm going to talk about how much everything I did today costs. A 6-pack of black spray paint was $36. The step end cap that I put on the driver's side was $21. The hood latches were $24. The can of Rust-Oleum that I used to roll paint the top was free. That was from the engine bay video. Check that one out if you guys didn't watch it. The paint roller was also free. I found it in the basement. The floor mats that I will be putting in here are also free. I got them on a trade. 2 cans of gray spray paint for the dash was $12. A 5/16 bolt to fix the vent window on the driver's side was $1. The boat tank hatch to cover up the fuel pump in the rear was $30. The lift supports for the hardtop were $15. I bought a million packs of light bulbs, pretty much a 10-pack of everything on this Jeep. I didn't need it all, but I don't mind having it in stock. That was $2, $4, $7, $10, $12 for all the light bulbs. The front wipers were $3, the rear wiper was $2, and that's it. We really didn't have to buy a lot of parts for this video to make, in my opinion, a massive difference. That was a grand total of $156, which is nothing to make your Jeep look like this. That brings the total for the project so far to $3,646, which is nothing for a Jeep that looks this good. Are you kidding me? I've got one more video that this Jeep's going to be in before I sell it, and it's answering the biggest question that I see everywhere in Jeep groups online, and it's such a silly one. It's, do you actually need your track and sway bars on your YJ? So that's going to be all for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Jesse, thank you for sponsoring me, and I'll see you all next time on No Guarantees. The bumper end cap. When he reached out, a 6-pack of